Okay, I've heard a lot of bad reviews about this particular property, which is Arte Mont Kiara, but let's go check it out and see if it's really the case. Let's go. See, today is actually Tuesday, May 6th, and there's a ton of people over here actually getting residence or taking Grab on a e-hailing basis lah. So it's actually 12 p.m. and I'm very shocked and very amazed to see how many cars come here to pick up all the residents that are staying over here lah. I believe majority of them are actually expats because if you look at them, they don't look to be local to me lah. So yeah, that is actually quite a lot of people. Before we go in the building, let's check around the commercial podium, which right in front of us is actually an interior designing firm. And right next to it is actually a restaurant that's going to be opening up quite soon lah, I guess. Not a restaurant, more of a wellness center, beauty wellness center. And if you walk further down, there's a Bila Bila Mart and also an operating cafe. So basically, when you come over here, commercial podium seems to be quite active already lah. There's another cafe that is right on top as well called Thomas or Thompson, I can't remember. But we'll go check that out as well because it's one of the more unique part about this entire development. Now walking across over here, one thing I want to point out is the entire building facade itself. This place at night, right, looks quite unique because of how it's actually having this kind of a facade design, and also the lighting kind of makes it very unique lah. That's the reason why we call this like the very iconic building in Mont Kiara itself. Where I'm standing at right now is the grand lobby. As you can see, the entire design language over here very unique, and only Arte Corp actually pulls this off lah. Not many developers are this bold to make this a design language, which you got to give them credit to. But now let's talk, enough talking about the exterior of the building. Let's actually go inside and check out the entire facility, because a lot of people actually in the Google reviews or in the comments, right, say this particular place is actually pretty worn out, and I really want to check if it's really the case, because honestly speaking, the only way to actually really know if it's worn out is to come here and check it lah. Okay, if you look at the entire flooring over here, it looks to be pretty well maintained, and I believe these are not marble but more of like a porcelain tiles lah. And that's the reason why you don't see any flaws in terms of the flooring. And to me, honestly, the grand lobby over here looks to be pretty well kept, and I think it's also partly because there's also other operators around this area, and you can see this is a place that is expat friendly, or like a lot of people come here for temporary space. Say hi to the camera. Where you from?
Ishuma.
Ishuma. Okay, he's from Ishuma. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But okay, so this one over here is actually one of the lobby area for one of the hotel Airbnb operations. So you can see it's actually very nice, and there's also a few things along this area lah. So this is the guest waiting room, and they can actually go upstairs, which is where the hotel rooms are at lah. So now this building actually consists of 3 different types of residents. One of it is actually managed by Arte itself, one of it is the residents, and one of them is actually managed by this hotel operator over here. Now if you come on this lift lobby, you can tell already, very bold design, looks like a hotel, and imagine this is actually a residence tower as well. So imagine coming home every single day to this design language. Oh, I feel like some sort of grand atas people, right? I'm now at the facility floor, and I got to say the entire finishing over here is just very unique. There's marble tiles across the entire floor to ceiling, and the incorporation of this type of older tile design is also very unique. So when I came here, I also checked out Google review, and a lot of people say that the place is pretty bad. But to be very honest, I'm right here right now, and I got to say everything seems to be pretty well maintained. The floors are very clean. Maybe they have just done a cleaning process, but to look at the entirety of the place, there's no leaks. I don't know, but let's continue seeing the place before we conclude on that statement. Despite the fact that this is very heavily used, it's still being maintained. And to be very honest, from a high level, you just look like this, it actually looks pretty good. But of course, when you look at the nitty-gritty stuff, there's going to be some sort of minor wear and tear. So let's walk along this journey over here, and then we can actually get to the gym room. We are now at the Luxe Gym Room. As you can see, design language is all maintained across the entire development. And I got to say, there's quite a lot of people using the gym room right now at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday. Just a look at how many people are over here. And most importantly, the aircon is running. So Malaysia hot weather, you always need to have AC. And I got to say, in terms of the fittings and the entire place looks to be decently well maintained, but I would wish for this place to be a little bit brighter lah. Honestly, standing over here right now, I don't know if you guys can see from the camera, it's actually a little bit girl up side. And for the gym equipment, I think you have sufficient equipment for a good workout. But for the amount of residents, 3 towers collectively, I don't think there's enough facility for you to use lah. Because you see, running track machine, there's only about 3 machines over here. And then in terms of the bench side, you don't really have much going on as well lah. But I think equipments are pretty well maintained and the whole place is nice because the aircon is running lah. So above the gym room, you have this very weird looking area, I would say. It's actually just toilet. Quite uniquely designed because you have like this newspaper of Paris and European concept lah. Which honestly kind of makes me wonder why Arte, you guys like all this European design so much. And this actually situates just right above the gym room. And guys, there's really nothing here just beyond the toilet lah. Well, maybe you also still get to enjoy the view of the swimming pool. So maybe this is the reason why you have this here, I guess. Very bold design selection over here. It looks like an egg or like a little nest in that sense. And that actually leads you to the Diamond Lounge. Landscaping and water features seems to be pretty well kept as well. They're still running. And across the entire development, across MK1, 2 and 3, the theme is actually about the same, inclusive of this sort of egg-shaped design kind of thing going on along with the barbecue area lah. So in terms of the facility area, I got to say this is actually rather big and we haven't even finished the entire thing yet. So we came from MK2 to MK1, which as I mentioned is actually next to the swimming pool. And all of them actually has a different type of design language. Now this one over here comes with this lamp and also red curtains. So maybe this is supposed to emulate Hollywood kind of design language. But one thing stays the same, which is all the chandeliers across the entire place. I was also told that this one over here, at night it will light up and it looks pretty nice. So a lot of the Wang Hong that wants to 打卡 or wants to do their OOTD, they come over here, sit down, take a nice picture, I guess. For MK1, you have a Le Petit Playland, which I believe is actually for the children. I think Le Petit means small in French or Italian or in one of these European language. And basically this is a place for the toddlers or the kids to actually play around. And later, as I mentioned earlier on, we are MK1, just now we were MK2 and MK3 is over there. Every single one of them actually has their own unique facility, but you can actually use one access card to actually go intertwine between all these facility areas lah. So the owners of MK1 can go to 2 and 3 and likewise. So when the condo first launched, this was one of the main highlights over here, the butterfly garden, because it's MK1 and a lot of people during that time wanted to come here. They're like, hey, tell their boyfriend, girlfriend, hey, I want to come over here but dating, I want to ambil TOOTD or ambil gambar, right? This was the place lah. Now this is actually pretty high up already, so you can actually enjoy a pretty decent view from this area over here lah. Let's go to MK3 because I was told there's a very unique looking swimming pool or jacuzzi area at the top. And this one comes with a floral design. So every single MK tower is a little bit different from the other. And personally, I like this one the most because it's less complex and less dark. This one is with a brighter colors theme. And to me personally, I like bright things lah. This has to be the most interesting part about the entire Arte Mont Kiara, which is this igloo design jacuzzi area. I love this because it's actually outdoor, number one. And number two, you can actually really enjoy your time having this over here. I think in Malaysia, probably this is the only developer or only company that has done this design language, which kind of simulates like you are in an Eskimo or in a cold country. Very unique because it's actually in the outdoor setting. So for you to come over here dating and whatnot, wow, this is a view to enjoy, guys. Look at this, it's pretty nice. So yeah, it's a little jacuzzi area with multiple pots in a sense. So you can be over here, over there, over there. And guys, this is actually heated. So this is actually hot water lah, basically. Not very hot, but like about 40 plus degrees or maybe 30 plus degrees Celsius. It's actually warm lah. Yeah. Now at the Rainbow Lounge. As you can see over here, I am enjoying myself in this swing. What is this for? I am not sure, but it looks pretty cool, I guess. So we were able to actually check out one of the duplex unit in MK1, and so you can see majority of the units over here are on Airbnb basis. So the design language over here is also encapsulating that British kind of design with a lot of different elements. Like you can see, like there's a scooter over there, and this light setting. Kind of gives you that very British colonial kind of, not British colonial, but a very Britain kind of look. Love this design. Look at this. They use a Gaston to make a chair. So there's obviously going to be two exit ways to the unit. One over here, which is the main one, and over here is actually the bedrooms already. And I think it's actually quite okay in terms of the design language over here for an Airbnb usage, right? Not too bad. And I believe this is where the AC latch is going to be situated at. I like this because it's easier for the workers to actually do regassing or servicing. Not too scary like the other developments we've seen in the market. So you have another small little room over here, which honestly speaking, if you have aircon running, this is going to be very cool. The corridor width over here is about 6 feet in width, so it's actually quite sizable for you to move furnitures around. But one thing I noticed is that there's no natural sunlight coming in, and there's also no air wells. So this place can be a little bit echoey, like you can hear right now. To me, I don't find this to my appeal, but some people like it because it's like a hotel kind of concept anyways. So the top floor of Arte MK2, you actually have the restaurant, which is only catered for females audience, I guess. No, I'm kidding. Basically, you got to dress up, got to look very nice in order for you to actually get in. As because I'm dressed like this, they wouldn't let me go inside lah. But yeah, this is basically the cafe, and this is what it looks like. So after checking out the entire place, to be very honest with you, I still don't understand why Google review looks to be so bad. Because in all honesty, after checking out the entire place, it seems to be rather decent. So I think the reason why the Google reviews are like such is mainly because this was actually Google reviews during MCO time, or maybe when there was a different type of management managing the Airbnb units. When I'm here today, to be very honest with you, obviously there are going to be some wear and tear and damages here and there. But in terms of the entire build quality or the entire place, it looks to be rather okay lah. If you want to say it's in tip-top condition, it's definitely not, but it's definitely bearable. So I think this particular property over here is getting too much hate in that sense. I think overall it's actually not too bad lah. So personally, if you want to check out the place, you got to come here yourself and experience it. Because I think the Airbnb a night is going for about 160 ringgit per night. So it's actually a rather decent and rather affordable rate as well. Okay, that's pretty much it of this particular condo review at Arte Mont Kiara. So if you guys like contents like such, make sure to like, subscribe and follow.
Wait. Are you not Jean from Stay Work Property?
I am.
We actually have a new project. We just launched it as well. It's also by Arte. Would you like to check it out?
Sure. Let's go.
This way. Downstairs gallery here.
Ah, okay.